In this video, I'm going to share a common team building approach and why it's actually counterproductive. And then I'm going to wrap up with an approach that does work to create a more cooperative, motivated, and content team. I'm Jeff Mowatt. For over 30 years, managers have brought me in to work with their teams to enhance their internal and external customer service. And often we find that under the guise of, hey, let's bring the team together, managers thinking, okay, we got to do a team building exercise. So let's take them on some sort of an adventure. We'll take them on an obstacle course, a high ropes course, or maybe we'll do a fire walk. Yeah, that'll do it. Or maybe we'll take them to paintball. And the premise is that employees are going to overcome all of these obstacles. And as a result, they're going to create more cooperation. Well, maybe in theory they will, but then there's the reality. Let's say you take them on a high ropes course. And what we find is the teams are going to work together and they're going to overcome these challenges. They're going to help each other up. Well, the reality is that nobody has probably trained for this, maybe one or two employees, but most of them haven't. And I mean physically trained for them. So there's a high risk of injury, which could end up, because it's a corporate event, end up with a WCB claim, a workers' compensation claim. And at the same time, you've got a whole bunch of people who may not be as athletic as they might be. So you end up with a bunch of people who are humiliated because they lack athletic prowess. And then, of course, when you look at things like a fire walk, which I've been on, I've been invited to attend these things. And despite the myth is that, okay, you put yourself into an altered state and you walk across hot coals. Well, the reality has got nothing to do with an altered state. The reality is you walk across hot coals, your feet perspire, and you protect yourself from getting burnt, except that there are typically a few people that are a little heavier or go a little slower, their coals are a little hotter, who end up with mild burns, which again might set you up for a liability. But more importantly, what does walking across hot coals have to do with sales blaming service department for not coming through on an order? It's got almost no relevance. Now, there is some benefit to doing some sort of a physical activity. And the only one that I've seen in the marketplace that seems to work well is when somebody has a skilled professional facilitator. And when I say professional facilitator, I'm not talking about a skilled climber for ropes or an outdoors person who's talking about fire walks. I'm talking about a professional facilitator, like, for example, Bob Parker, who does what's called Pit Crew Challenge. And in that case, he brings in a NASCAR, works with another team. He's not even necessarily a NASCAR fan, but he has teams of employees get together and they walk through how to do a tire change quickly and safely. But the thing that makes this so powerful is that Bob is a professional, skilled facilitator. He ekes out every bit of learning about how teams make decisions, and he walks people through how this can apply within the workplace. That's one of the very few exceptions that I've heard of using an athletic event to actually do team building when you have a professional facilitator, not professional athlete, but professional facilitator. Other than that, what I think you're doing when we bring people to athletic events is you're setting yourself up for liabilities, you're setting yourself up for physical injuries, you're setting yourself up for potential lawsuits of being sued for this, and you're also setting yourself up for employees being humiliated and the opposite of what we'd expect. So if our goal really is to build stronger teams and make people more cooperative and motivated, then consider what actually does happen on a professional sports team, where you get a whole bunch of professional athletes who may be gifted and highly paid. There may be some egos involved. Well, they don't learn teamwork because they go, I've got to get along, I've got to get along. They learn teamwork as a byproduct of realizing I've got to win games. And the only way we're going to win games is for us to make sure that we are working with one another. Similarly, within an organization, the win is creating outstanding internal and external customer experience. That makes you one of a kind. It differentiates your brand. It creates financial returns. So when everyone is focused within the organization on the goal of creating better customer experience we all end up getting along because of that. It's a byproduct. I lived down in Texas for a while, and they have an expression down in Texas. They say, a dog on the hunt doesn't know it's got fleas. You can't get this kind of information just anywhere, you realize. And the idea is that when you're focused on a goal, you're not worried about pettiness with each other. So one of the things that we do with organizations is when we work with them, we look at, okay, how can we enhance the customer service culture? And that's where we talk about things like customer service tips and coaching. How can we proactively solicit information? What are your service standards? What is your mission? How are we adapting to customer feedback? And what are some ways we can recognize employees for outstanding contributions? We call them CAST meetings, customer service team meetings. It takes 90 minutes a month. And we end up with teams and team building as a byproduct. But what we're really looking for is great customer experience. So we're making more money and everybody's happier anyway. I hope you found that to be helpful. And if you like this tip, I think you're going to love my extra tips you're going to find at jeffsbusinesstips.com. See you next time.